It's interesting as more and more marketers are inundated with so much measurement and AI-driven measurement. It's really becoming very hard for them to navigate what is real, what's not, and how to evaluate an AI-generated insight. So that's where, I always like to start with the business question. It's not about this insight or AI generated it. It's about what is the business question that we're trying to address. That is the most important. And then depending on that question, the consequence of the decision, I tend to look at AI generated insights through different lenses. If it's a small business decision, it's an optimization, low risk decision, probably not so much. But if it is a high strategic decision with high consequences, of course, I will look at it very differently. The most important thing I like to start with is the data that underpins it, because AI is just sitting on top of data. But what is the data? So you want to start there. So is the data comprehensive? Is it representative? Are there missing elements in the data sets? Because again, with all the fragmentation, everybody claims they have AI insights, but it's only as good as the data that it's representing. Is it timely data? Is it updated more frequently? So again, I always like to start with data. And then once I have confidence in the data, then I move to the next question, which is, okay, what is the business decision that I'm trying to make? Is this data good for us to answer that question? Could this be plausible with all the business context that we have? Is this recommendation make sense? Are there other forms of evidence or from other measurement solutions that we are seeing similar trends? Is it all converging in the same direction? Is that particular insight actually driving outcomes when we actually act on it? So there are so many elements that go into whether we trust or not. And that's where, our roles as agency partners and analytics teams on behalf of our clients, we come in and really help navigate what is real and what's not.
Well, Anita, in navigating what's real and what's not, transparency, the word transparency seems to come to mind. And transparency in AI-driven measurement is often seen as a trade-off. More transparency often means less sophisticated models. Where does transparency actually matter most for your clients, though?
I think the clients are not coming to us and saying, I want transparency and in every line of code from all this AI-driven measurement. I think they're asking us a very practical question. Should I trust this recommendation that you're asking me to act on it? That's what they want. So for me, transparency is not about going and looking at every single algorithm or investigating every single line of code. It is really the ability to build confidence in the decisions that we need to make on behalf of our clients. So I will again look at a lot of the data that's underpinning that decision. To me, understanding data is transparency, helping me feel confident about the data that underpins that AI measurement. It is understanding the assumptions that are going into that particular model. What were the assumptions made? Looking at the attribution windows. What was the evidence? How has been this validated? That's important. Understanding any limitations, are there any blind spots? So all of those become very important questions that we need to ask. And then most importantly, the governance, the legality around it, the privacy, all of those are more and more important now. So is that permission data? So again, the governance and, the governance legal aspect and privacy aspect of it is also just as important. So based on a lot of that, then we go and act on it and make confident decisions on behalf of our clients. So our clients are, again, not asking us for transparency into the algorithm. They're simply telling us, do we have the confidence and are the recommendations really grounded in credible evidence, in appropriate governance? And is it aligned with the business decision? At the end of the day, that's what we're responsible for. So at Canvas, we've taken a client-centric, open ecosystem approach. So we're always looking at all partners, AI measurement solutions out there, internal as well as our broader ecosystem. And we're always looking at which solution is probably the best for our clients to be able to address those questions. And we are always, investigating and helping our clients navigate this very complicated measurement fragmentation world.
So let's stay with that trust theme for a little bit longer. Marketing teams obviously need to trust measurement insights to act on them. How do you build confidence, though, in AI models when you can't necessarily explain how they work?
Yeah. Trust isn't binary. Trust is earned over time. So again, I think it comes down to, trust should be proportional to the consequence of the decision that you're trying to make. So if it's a low risk decision or a high risk decision. So I think it's like we as measurement professionals have always had to investigate methodologies, measurement partners, and I think you need to continue to bring that same rigor in terms of the questions that you need to ask about AI-built models. I think where AI comes in is the speed and scale at which you can really generate so many more recommendations. And I think that's important to think about because if there are errors and the models are not accurate, or if they're good models and good recommendations, those all have the ability of getting scaled just that much faster. So I think that's where validation and governance becomes extremely important because AI is so fast and you want to ensure that the underlying data and the assumptions that are being made across that model or underneath that model are all valid because you could be scaling poor information and bad decisions just as fast as good. So that it keeps me up at night, if you ask me. But that's the way we come in. So again, at Canvas, we take a client-first approach. So we're always investigating all the different methodologies, models. We're very open to AI. We've embraced it in different advanced measurement solutions as well. But we're not outsourcing human judgment. That is very much our responsibility. And so the way we use AI is more decision support, not necessarily decision replacement. So we are constantly investigating assumptions and helping our clients navigate this very complicated world.
Anita, speaking of this complicated world, marketers today have way more measurement than ever from MMM, experiments, attribution, brand lift, platform analytics, and of course AI, as we just talked about. How do you bring those different perspectives together into one coherent story that supports business decisions?
Yeah, very interesting, right? Back in the day, I remember historically, in those days, clients used to hire us to help them navigate the fragmented media world. Today, increasingly, clients are asking us to help navigate the AI and measurement landscape. The amount of POVs that we're putting out there in terms of helping clients understand the methodologies, it's very important. Platforms have their own data, they have their own models, they're building their own algorithms, which serves their needs and their objectives. Measurement partners are all answering different business questions. And MMM talks about long-term contribution and allows us to make appropriate budget allocations. Incrementality is helping us measure causality. Brand lift studies are helping us measure consumer perceptions. Many other methodologies are coming in. Platform analytics are coming in to help optimize within platform. So each measurement solution out there is serving a different business question. And so what we come in is not trying to force all of these forms of evidence into one concrete number. That's just not how it works because they're all answering a very different question from their own vantage point. So we bring all of these forms of evidence together to help our clients really understand it, interpret it, and then help them make the right business decisions. And the way we do that is through data storytelling. So we're really bringing it all together, simplifying it, interpreting it for our clients, but at the end of the day, helping them narrow down on the ultimate business decision that they need to make. Now, where AI comes in is it really helps us expedite the speed at which we can bring all of the data, synthesize all vast amounts of data, and bring all the different forms of evidence together. And that becomes really compelling.
Anita, I wanted to ask you on something a bit more on the human element side of the AI equation that we're all kind of wrestling with and even worried about in the agentic era. Mm-hmm. As measurement becomes increasingly automated, where does human judgment still need to override or validate what the models are telling you?
I think as human judgment becomes as important as AI starts to accelerate more and more. I think as AI becomes more capable, we need more human judgment to keep it within its guardrails. So I think it plays a really important role. We've embedded a lot of AI into our analytics workflows, leveraging the Hero Hub hygiene framework. So hygiene is all about efficiency and productivity. So that might be, wrangling all different data sets from different sources and bringing it all together, which AI can do really well. It's interrogating dashboards, it's an anomaly detection. So a lot of that is productivity and efficiency. It's allowing our repeatable tasks to be automated. We have the hub, which is all about democratizing insights. So again, insights used to historically live just with the analytics team. And now through democratization of insights through dashboards, we're able to put them in the hands of our strategists and all our activation teams who are making those decisions every single day. And then you also have Hero, and Hero is what we call like our strategic advantage, where we're using AI as a strategic advantage. And that's underpinned very much by a lot of the advanced AI measurement solutions to be able to make more strategic decisions. So again, we are on top of it, and we are constantly staying abreast of it. And the change management is a big piece of it, because getting our teams to embrace this allows our analysts to really free up their time from all of the data prep and to more elevating them into more strategic roles, so that we can take the time to really interrogate all the methodologies, look at the assumptions, look at the guardrails, but most importantly, help translate a lot of this measurement and evidence to our clients to be able to make informed decisions. So again, it's elevating our analysts to more strategic roles as measurement strategists, so that we can really start to really add value in measurement.